All right, so had a viewer from YouTube send me a primary here. His where his clutch cable goes in was stripped, egged out, stripped, worn out, whatever. It was bad. So ended up drilling it out and putting an insert in there. One of these inserts here. So 7/16 14 OD by 5/16 24 ID. It's just one of these little inserts here. So what you're going to start off doing, now I had filmed this already and forgot to turn my mic on for whatever reason, senior moment, I don't know. So you're going to start off, since it's a 5/16 hole, is start off with a 5/16 drill, run it through there. Now, if you're doing these, and they make these at a half 13 as well, which is probably what you'll find local. The 7/16 14 is thinner, a little bit thinner wall. So not quite as strong as a half 13, but it's a clutch cable. You know, you're not putting a whole lot of force in there anyway. So you drill it out with a 5/16 inch, and then with a tap, your 7/16 14 tap, you want higher thread engagement with this insert. So what you're going to do is with that size tap, it recommends a U size drill, letter drill U, which is fine for most things that would use a 7/16 14 bolt, but we want a little bit finer engagement in here. So we actually used an 11/32 drill bit instead of a letter U, which takes it from a standard. I think this takes it up to like 85% engagement, maybe somewhere in there. It's more thread engagement regardless. So what you're doing when you're cutting the threads in this thing for more engagement, you know, a U is going to be bigger. It's not substantially bigger. I mean, we're talking slightly bigger. You know, this 11/32 is basically like 343 thousandths. And I think U is maybe 360 something. So, you know, you're not talking huge, you're talking, you know, but it makes a difference when you're cutting the threads. You know, it's tighter. The bolt isn't going to be as loose in the threads, or in this case, the clutch cable, which is stick threads in. It's the same as a bolt. So we did that, and then you're going to recess it. Now with these here, you got a threaded end or a slotted end, which is right there, and a flat end, which is right there. So what we did to put this in there, we used a bolt and a nut. We want the flat side sticking out with the slotted side sticking in, because where the O-ring goes, we don't want the O-ring anywhere around those slots. So we use this bolt with a nut on it, so you can actually lock it in there, because you don't want the bolt getting stuck in this. And we locked it down with the nut. So when you go to take it out, you just crack the nut loose. So we go in there like that. You're sticking it in, you're driving it with the bolt portion, but you're locking the nut on here. So you don't want the bolt getting stuck in there, and then you go to take it out and it's unthreading the insert. So use the lock nut on there, drive it in, and we'll pull it back out and check it until we get the right depth of where we actually want the insert. Now, these inserts come with a Loctite patch already on them, but we added more Loctite. You know, after we clean it out, you're done cutting it using cutting fluid and your tap. You're going to clean it out with lacquer thinner or acetone or whatever. I actually use a little bit lighter formula that doesn't hurt paint. uh, which is the basically cleaner for paint. It's stuff that you remove wax with, wax or tar or whatever else off the paint, so it doesn't actually harm the surface. And drill it, tap it, use your cutting fluid, blow it out, blow all the chips out, blow the clean the oil out of it, any oil out of it. Put more Loctite onto your insert there, lock it into place, take it out, check the depth on it to make sure the depth is right for the O-ring hole, where the O-ring sits down in the counter bore there. And then after that, what I did is I take down in here where the insert goes through, I take a center punch and just center punch around it with a hammer and a center punch, just to kind of sort of aid it in locking it in place. Now, Matt, what I want you to do when you're putting this back together, after you get your clutch in and all that, do not use anything on the gasket, on the primary cover gasket, as far as sealer or silicone or anything like that. You don't need it. New gasket. Hopefully you're using like a Cometic or even a stock Fomet gasket, which is basically a stainless steel gasket with foam on the outside of it. Modern gasket. To put it back in there with, those by far work the best. No sealer. Once you get everything back on there, you're going to torque your cover down. Now, when you're doing this cover, just kind of alternate the bolts. One bolt, one there, just alternate them all the way around until you get them tight. And torque on these is about 120 inch-pounds, which is roughly about 8 foot-pounds. So what you're going to do there, you can use some blue Loctite on the bolts there, and then torque them, like I said, just alternate the pattern, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you get them all tight. So the reason for that is you don't want to tighten all these bolts up here and then work it this way, because you're going to warp the cover. You're alternating it around is better than tightening down 1 bolt, 2 bolt, 3 bolt, 4 bolt, 5 bolt, in a circle. And as far as your primary chain goes, you're going to set it, run it in there until you get a little bit, take some of the slack out of the chain. That's not going to be your final adjustment. You're then going to crank the motor over, take your fingers out of there, and crank it, a little bit. You'll watch it move, let it stop, check the clearance on it, take your finger out, hit it, let it rotate around a little bit more, check it, and check it probably 4 or 5 times, different spots. When you find the tight spot, the tightest spot in there, that's where you're going to do your adjustment off of. Set it at, ½ inch, 3/8, right around 3/8 to a ½ inch in slack. And it's going to be cold because obviously you haven't started up yet. And your chain's going to get tighter as the bike gets hot. So you see a lot of guys will have it, they'll set the chain at, 5/16, 1/4 inch, and then when it's hot, it's banjo tight. Or they didn't check in a bunch of different spots to find the tight spot. It's just like adjusting any other chain. It's going to have tight spots and loose spots. When you put the clutch cable in there, I know I said ultra black, but you can still use that if you've already bought it. That's cool. Or you can get a little tube of this. That's high temp thread sealer. You can use that too. Put a little bit on, put your O-ring on the clutch cable. You can put a little bit of this on the threads of the clutch cable and then kind of smear it around the O-ring too. Same thing that you'd be doing with the silicone. And you can buy these in little tubes, so you don't need a whole big tube like that. You can get them in tubes that are about that size, about the size of Loctite, small Loctite, which is, I don't remember how big that thing is. It's small. You can't see shit, so I don't know what it is. It's the small one, regardless. It's like that big. And put that on there. And remember this nut right here on the bottom of the primary chain. You see, you took the nut off of it. When you put this back on there, it looks like it's a lock nut with the plastic piece on one side. That plastic piece has to face up because that's what actually seals this threaded portion here. Keeps the fluid in it. If you put it in there backwards, it's going to leak fluid out past the threads on this. So there is that. Everything else, fairly simple. The clutch adjustment, you're going to do that with your clutch. You're going to turn it out until it touches. Or turn it in until it touches. I think it's turn it out on these. And then turn it back about a quarter turn until your little sleeve fits in there. So if you have to move it, the slot doesn't line up where the nut will go in, always turn it out towards the right a little bit. So it slides in there that way. And then adjust your clutch cable, pull your clutch in 3 or 4 or 5 times, something like that. And then take the slack out of it and recheck that to make sure it's right. Because you're going to have, when you first put the oil in, put the clutch back together, you're going to have a lot of oil in there. So your basically plate thickness is going to be slightly different until that fluid is out of there. So you check it a couple times. And, if you have to change it back, and then adjust your clutch cable. You should be good to go. Other than that, I think you pretty much got it, man. You probably have to, readjust your clutch after probably 500 miles or so, just to make sure it is where it is. After you get it broken in, just to check it, because it is going to change slightly. And other than that, you should be good, man. The thread sealer, Loctite on the bolts, alternating bolt pattern, clutch cable, primary chain. This nut right here, flip it so that the little plastic portion faces up. And I think that's it, man. You should be good to go. And when you're going in there, shit, you know what? I almost forgot. I was going to send you those things. All right, I couldn't find my hangers. I swear I had a set. I couldn't find them anywhere. They're around somewhere, but not spending a whole lot of time looking for them. All you got to do, if you need to make them, get some 1/4-inch fender washers or all thread, either one, and just make them long enough, probably about that long, just enough to thread into the case, hold the gasket, and you can slide the primary over while you're doing it. You only need 2 of them. Do one up here and one back here. It makes life a hell of a lot easier trying to get the primary or cam cover or whatever back on. You just hold it up there and slide it over as guides, really. So you're good to go, man. I'll get this thing shipped out in the morning there, the post office there. So, like I said, just used Permatex high temperature pipe dope. Just get a little, just get the small one to do it. And if you have any questions, just call me or text me or email or message, whatever.